So, as part of the funding series, I'm going to be talking about a new funding scheme from the BPS, which is the British Psychological Society. They have a new scheme called the Black and Asian Applied Psychologist Fund. So, if you don't already know, I have a funding series on this channel where I share resources and different bursaries, loans, and scholarships that you can apply for to help you in your counseling journey because it can be really, really expensive. So, you can find that series in my playlist. So, let's talk about this new one. So, what is the purpose of this fund? So, the purpose of this fund is to support people who are Black or Asian in their professional development, and it also includes CPD, which is continued professional development, which you probably have heard of. So once you've applied for this fund, you can use the money that you're granted to support a variety of things. And they've got a list of things which they specifically apply to. And they say that the list of activities include the following, but is not limited to the following: attending different conferences that are obviously around psychology and anything related to the field of psychology, the organization of inclusive and accessible conferences for other trainees or professionals, the development of research opportunities, attendance and learning at training events, innovation and development in the field, personal therapy for counseling psychologists, and clinical or professional supervision. So once you have the funding, these are the kinds of things that you're allowed to use the funding for. So of course, the big question is, how much do you actually get? So the full amount that they're offering as part of this scheme is maximum of £2,000. However, the amount that you get is not going to be guaranteed to be the maximum £2,000. It will be dependent on the resources available and the nature of your request. So you may get the full amount, you may get a partial amount. It all depends on those variables that I've mentioned. So now let's talk about the application process. So luckily, the first set of applications have just opened up in March. So there's still plenty of time to apply. It's not too late. So the first set of applications for this year opened on the 24th of March, and they will close on 25th of May at 11:59 p.m. UK time. So if you don't or you can't meet the deadline for this first set of applications, then you have another opportunity in September. And this set of applications opens on the 29th of September at 9 a.m. and then they close the applications on 30th of November at 11:59 p.m. again UK time. So you can either apply this part of the year between now and May, or you can wait until September and apply between September and November. And also, it's really, really important to note that they have said on their website that you can only submit one grant application per round. And if you're unsuccessful, then you can apply in the next round. And if you've also been successful and you've actually been granted something, then you have to wait 12 months before applying again in future. So when they have the next set of applications next year and you've already been granted one this year, you'd have to wait a full 12 months before you can apply again. So let's talk about the requirements to actually apply for this. So of course, the main thing being, yes, being Black or Asian is the main obvious thing, but there are a few other things that they've listed. So let's go through that now. So besides being Black or Asian, you should also be a UK resident. You should also be a member of the BPS or a HCPC registered practitioner psychologist or trainee practitioner psychologist with the HCPC. So they have a variety of descriptions of what it is to be Black or Asian. So I'm going to put a screenshot of all the different things that they've listed on their website that you can apply for. So even if you're like partly mixed with Asian or partly mixed with Black, you can also still apply. So I'm going to put the list on the screen for you to read, and you can pause and have a read of it and see if you fit the criteria. So if you fit the criteria, then of course, let's have a look at the process of actually applying and what you can expect in the application process. So in the application, you're going to need to explain the following: how much funding you're actually seeking. So it doesn't have to be the full £2,000. If you don't need the full £2,000, don't be greedy, don't lie and say you need £2,000 to attend a conference that's only going to cost you £100 for a ticket. So be honest about how much you need and why you need it, because if you lie, then of course your chances of being accepted are going to be quite low. You also need to talk about what you're seeking your funding for. So like I said earlier, if it's for a conference, if it's for training, if it's for supervision, state exactly what it is. And I don't know if you're allowed to state more than one thing, but you can double check with the BPS and email them if you're not sure. And then you also need to have a clear breakdown of where the costs are going to go that you're asking for. Like, what are you going to use them for? You need a clear breakdown of every single thing. So they ask for that in the application as well. In the application, you will need to provide the exact names and dates of everything that you're asking for. So if it's a conference, you need to write the name and the date of the conference. If it's for CPD training, if it's for any kind of training or supervision, you need to write the name of it, the date and the time it's going to take place, so that they can obviously double check and verify the information. I'm guessing that's probably why they're asking. So you can't just make up the name of an event or a type of training that doesn't exist. And they also ask for links of those things if they are available. So once again, if you're saying you want to go to this conference, you want to do this training for 6 months, put a link for it as well so they can see it for themselves. Also talk about in the application how this thing that you want to do supports your professional development, because that's the whole point of the scheme, is to support Black and Asian professional development within the psychology field. Also talk about how it contributes to psychological practice in the UK. They also ask that applicants make sure that they've done their due diligence around any training or CPD that they want to be involved in and that they're seeking funds for, and that is within their realm of competence. So don't try and do a training that you know you're not qualified for, that you're not suitable for, or that is out of your realm of competence. They expect you to know whether you are suited and suitable for that specific training that you're trying to do. So the last thing is that just know that the applications have to be done online, and then those applications will be assessed by an independent panel of Black and Asian psychologists. So I hope that this was very informative and that this helps you. And yeah, if you want to apply, you have some time. So I wish you all the best, and remember to check out the funding series. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.